Emma sat in her sleek office, the sound of her colleagues' laughter drifting in from the hallway, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside her. She was a rising star in the legal world, known for her fierce intellect and dedication. Yet, as she stared at the framed photograph of her grandmother on her desk, the vibrant smile frozen in time, a dull ache settled in her chest. This was the woman who had sacrificed everything to raise her after her parents had been taken too soon. The thought of losing her, of watching her fade away into the obscurity of dementia, made Emma's heart race with panic. The world outside seemed to blur. Her ambitions felt like distant echoes compared to the looming reality of her grandmother's illness. Before we dive deeper into Emma's journey, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. Your support means everything to us and is the only way we can share these heartfelt stories with a wider audience. It truly helps us continue our work, so please don't hesitate. Subscribe now. As the days passed, Emma found herself caught in a whirlwind of emotions. Each morning began with a mixture of determination and dread. She would arrive at the office early, poring over case files while her mind wandered to the conversations she had with her grandmother on the phone. Each call felt like a delicate thread connecting them, one that could snap at any moment. She recalled the last time they had spoken, her grandmother's voice still bright but laced with confusion, struggling to remember the name of the neighbor who had lived next door for years. Emma's heart sank at the thought of her grandmother's world shrinking, the vibrant stories she once shared now becoming elusive fragments of a fading memory. The weight of her responsibilities at the firm began to feel unbearable. Emma was on the verge of making partner, a dream she had worked tirelessly to achieve. Yet, with each passing hour, the reality of her grandmother's diagnosis gnawed at her, pulling her further away from her professional aspirations. Her colleagues praised her, calling her the future of the firm, but all she could see was her grandmother's frail figure, sitting alone in a small, sunlit room that had once been filled with laughter and love. One evening, as she sorted through stacks of legal documents, a call from the nursing home interrupted her thoughts. The voice on the other end was kind but direct, informing her that her grandmother had become increasingly disoriented and needed more assistance. Each word felt like a dagger, piercing through the veil of her ambitions. Emma could no longer ignore the truth that had been simmering beneath the surface. She needed to be there for her grandmother, to step into the role that had been waiting for her all along. With a heavy heart, Emma made her decision. It was not just about leaving her career. It was about honoring the sacrifices her grandmother had made for her. The thought of moving back to her grandmother's small-town home filled her with both dread and a sense of purpose. The bustling cityscape that had once felt like her playground now seemed distant, almost foreign. Emma envisioned the simplicity of her grandmother's life, the rhythm of small-town living that contrasted sharply with the relentless pace of the legal world. There would be no glittering offices or high-stakes negotiations, but instead, a chance to reconnect with the woman who had given her everything. As she packed her belongings, Emma felt a mixture of sadness and relief. She folded her tailored suits and carefully placed them in boxes, knowing they would remain untouched for the foreseeable future. Her heart raced as she imagined the conversations she would have with her grandmother, the moments of clarity that would flicker like candlelight in the darkness of her condition. Emma was determined to make the most of the time they had left, to create new memories that would shine brightly against the backdrop of her grandmother's fading mind. The drive to her grandmother's house was filled with anticipation and trepidation. Emma navigated the familiar roads, each turn evoking memories of childhood summers spent playing in the garden and baking cookies in the kitchen. The house, a quaint structure with peeling paint and a well-tended garden, stood as a testament to her grandmother's unwavering love. Pulling into the driveway, Emma felt the weight of her decision settle over her like a warm blanket, both comforting and suffocating. As she stepped through the front door, the scent of lavender and old books enveloped her, instantly transporting her back in time. Her grandmother was sitting in her favorite armchair, a patchwork quilt draped over her frail legs, a look of confusion clouding her eyes. It took a moment for her to register Emma's presence, but when she did, her face broke into a smile that lit up the room. "Emma, my dear, she said softly, her voice trembling as she reached out for her granddaughter. In that moment, Emma knew she had made the right choice, that the love they shared was worth every sacrifice. The days that followed were a blend of challenges and heartwarming moments. Emma quickly settled into her role as caregiver, learning to navigate the complexities of her grandmother's dementia. There were times when her grandmother would recount stories of her life, tales of resilience and strength that had shaped Emma's own identity. In those precious moments of clarity, Emma would sit close, absorbing every word, feeling a profound connection to a past that was slipping away. It was in these fragile exchanges that Emma began to understand the depth of her grandmother's sacrifices, the dreams unfulfilled, the opportunities missed, all for the sake of raising her after the loss of her parents. As the sun dipped below the horizon each evening, Emma would sit by her grandmother's side, reminiscing about the past. They would flip through old photo albums, laughter mingling with the bittersweet sting of nostalgia. Each photograph told a story, a snapshot of a life filled with love and hardship. Emma felt a growing sense of responsibility, not just to care for her grandmother, but to preserve the legacy of their family, a legacy built on love, sacrifice, and resilience. Through the trials of caregiving, Emma discovered a newfound strength within herself. Each day brought its own set of challenges, but with each challenge came a profound lesson. The bond between them deepened as they navigated the unpredictable waves of memory lost together. Emma learned to laugh at the little things, to find joy in the ordinary moments, and to cherish the fleeting clarity her grandmother sometimes experienced. In those moments, her grandmother would share wisdom that resonated deeply, reminding Emma that life's true success was not measured by titles or accolades, but by the love we give and receive. As weeks turned into months, Emma's perspective on life began to shift. The pressures of her former career faded into the background, replaced by a sense of purpose that filled her heart. She realized that she was not just a caregiver. She was a storyteller, a keeper of memories, ensuring that her grandmother's legacy would not be lost to the ravages of time. Emma understood that she was not alone in this journey. Each day, she found strength in her grandmother's resilience and the love they shared, a bond that transcended the limitations of memory. In the quiet moments spent together, Emma began to see glimpses of her grandmother's spirit shining through the fog of dementia. It was in the way her eyes would light up at the mention of long-forgotten friends or cherished places. Emma cherished these moments, capturing them in her heart and mind as vivid reminders of the woman who had shaped her life. With each passing day, Emma became more attuned to her grandmother's needs, learning to navigate the complexities of her illness with patience and grace. As the seasons changed and the leaves turned golden, Emma felt a profound sense of gratitude for the time they had together. Each day was a gift, an opportunity for connection and understanding. Emma's heart swelled with love as she witnessed her grandmother's courage in the face of uncertainty. They shared laughter, tears, and quiet moments of reflection, weaving a tapestry of memories that would last a lifetime. Emma knew that this journey was not just about caregiving. It was about celebrating the beauty of their relationship, the intricate bond that had withstood the test of time. In this new chapter of her life, Emma discovered strength she never knew she had. She learned to embrace the chaos, to find solace in the unpredictable nature of caregiving. As she tended to her grandmother's needs, she also found a renewed sense of purpose within herself. Emma recognized that while the challenges were daunting, the rewards were immeasurable. Each smile, each moment of clarity, was a testament to their enduring love, a love that had the power to transcend even the darkest shadows of memory loss. As the days passed, Emma realized that this journey was not just about her grandmother. It was about her own growth and transformation. She discovered the beauty of selflessness, the joy of giving without expectation. In the quiet moments spent together, Emma learned to appreciate the simple joys of life, the warmth of a shared blanket, the sound of her grandmother's laughter, the sweet aroma of freshly baked cookies filling the air. These moments, though small, became the foundation of their shared experience, a reminder that love could flourish even in the face of adversity. As winter approached, the days grew shorter, and the world outside turned chilly and gray. But within the walls of their home, Emma and her grandmother created a sanctuary of warmth and love. They filled their days with stories, laughter, and cherished memories. Emma found herself immersed in her grandmother's past, uncovering family secrets and tales of resilience that had shaped their lives. It was a journey of discovery, one that deepened their bond and offered a glimpse into the rich tapestry of their shared history. Amidst the challenges, Emma also found moments of lightness. They would dance in the living room, twirling to the old records her grandmother cherished. In those fleeting moments, the weight of the world lifted, and they were simply two souls celebrating the beauty of their connection. Emma would spin her grandmother around, eliciting a bright laugh that echoed through the room, a sound that reminded her of the joy that still existed despite the shadows of illness. It was in these spontaneous moments that Emma could momentarily forget the harsh realities of dementia, losing herself in the rhythm of the music and the warmth of their shared laughter. As the holidays approached, the air filled with the scent of cinnamon and pine, Emma felt a renewed sense of purpose. She wanted to create a special Christmas for her grandmother, one that would evoke the warmth of tradition and the love that had always surrounded them. Emma remembered how her grandmother used to transform their home into a winter wonderland, decorating it with twinkling lights and handmade ornaments. Every corner of the house would be filled with the spirit of the season, each decoration a cherished memory from years gone by. Determined to recreate that magic, Emma began preparing for the festivities. She spent days crafting decorations, choosing vibrant colors that reflected the joy of the season. Together, they hung garlands of holly and strung lights along the windows, and Emma could see the spark of recognition in her grandmother's eyes as they reminisced about past Christmases spent together. In those moments of clarity, her grandmother would share stories of their family traditions, their annual baking extravaganza, the caroling nights, and the cherished recipes passed down through generations. Emma soaked in every word, her heart swelling with appreciation for the rich tapestry of family history woven through those memories. As Christmas Eve approached, the small town where her grandmother lived transformed into a magical wonderland. The streets were lined with glowing lights, and the air was filled with the sounds of laughter and celebration. Emma felt a bittersweet pang in her heart. She longed for her grandmother to enjoy the festivities fully, to be present in those fleeting moments of joy. On Christmas morning, Emma woke early, filled with anticipation. She wanted to make this day unforgettable, to create new memories even as they honored the old. They shared a breakfast of warm cinnamon rolls, the smell wafting through the house like a comforting embrace. Emma watched as her grandmother's face lit up when she unwrapped a carefully chosen gift, a soft shawl in her favorite shade of blue, reminiscent of the sky on a clear summer day. Tears glistened in her grandmother's eyes as she wrapped the shawl around her shoulders, a silent acknowledgement of the love that enveloped them both. "Thank you, my dear," her grandmother murmured, her voice steady and clear. It was one of those precious moments of lucidity that Emma cherished, a reminder of the incredible woman who had raised her. They settled into the living room, surrounded by the twinkling lights and the warmth of the fire crackling in the hearth. Emma had prepared a scrapbook filled with photographs and notes that told the story of their family, a tangible representation of the love and resilience that had defined their lives. As they flipped through the pages, Emma could see the flicker of recognition in her grandmother's eyes. With each photograph, her grandmother would recount stories from her youth, her own dreams, her aspirations, and the sacrifices she had made for Emma. These moments were bittersweet. Emma could feel the weight of her grandmother's past pressing against her heart. She realized that while dementia had taken so much from her grandmother, it couldn't erase the essence of who she was. "Do you remember this, Grandma?" Emma asked, pointing to a picture of them at the beach, sandcastles rising proudly behind them. Her grandmother's face broke into a soft smile, and for a moment, the fog of confusion lifted. "Of course, my darling. We spent the whole day swimming and laughing." You were so determined to build the tallest castle. I think we succeeded, didn't we?" Emma felt a surge of joy at that connection, and she nodded vigorously, her heart swelling with love. "We did, and we even decorated it with seashells." They laughed together, and for that brief moment, time stood still. Emma realized that these memories were not just pieces of the past. They were threads that wove their lives together, binding them in a tapestry of love that would endure even as memories faded. As the day unfolded, they received visits from family and friends, each bringing warmth, laughter, and holiday cheer. Emma watched her grandmother light up with each visitor, the love surrounding her creating a safe harbor in the storm of forgetfulness. It was a reminder that while her grandmother may struggle with memory, the love they shared was a constant, a guiding light that would always bring them back to one another. The magic of the day continued to unfold, and as evening approached, Emma gathered everyone around the fireplace for a special tradition. They would share stories of their favorite Christmas memories, weaving a rich tapestry of laughter and nostalgia. Emma listened intently as her grandmother shared tales of her childhood, of the simple joys and the struggles that had shaped her life. Each story was a precious gift, a reminder of the strength and resilience that had carried their family through the toughest of times. With each story shared, Emma felt a deepening appreciation for her grandmother's journey. She realized that this was more than just a day of celebration. It was a reaffirmation of their bond, a testament to the love that had endured through the trials of life. As the evening drew to a close, Emma and her grandmother found themselves alone once again, the house dimly lit by the soft glow of the fireplace. They sat in comfortable silence, the warmth of the fire wrapping around them like a cozy blanket. Emma turned to her grandmother, her heart filled with gratitude. "Thank you for everything you've done for me, Grandma. I hope you know how much you mean to me." Her grandmother looked at her, her eyes shimmering with emotion. "Emma, my dear, you are my heart. I did what I could, but it was always for you. You've turned out to be everything I dreamed of." In that moment, Emma felt an overwhelming sense of love and gratitude. She realized that while their circumstances had changed, the essence of their relationship remained unshaken. They had created a new definition of success, one rooted in love, kindness, and the strength of family ties. As the winter nights grew longer and the challenges of caregiving persisted, Emma knew that her journey was far from over. Each day brought new trials, yet they were also filled with moments of profound beauty. Emma would often find herself reflecting on the lessons she had learned, the importance of being present, and the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds. If this story is touching your heart, make sure to comment from where you are hearing this amazing story. As spring approached, the world outside began to awaken. The flowers bloomed, and the sun shone brighter, bringing warmth and a sense of renewal. Emma felt a renewed sense of hope as she continued to care for her grandmother, finding joy in the little things. The sound of birds chirping outside, the vibrant colors of the flowers in the garden, and the tender moments they shared on the porch. One afternoon, as they sat together, Emma decided to take her grandmother for a walk in the nearby park. The fresh air felt invigorating, and the sun kissed their skin as they strolled along the winding path. Emma held her grandmother's hand tightly, feeling the warmth radiating between them. With each step, they shared stories, laughter, and the simple joy of being together. Emma watched as her grandmother's face lit up at the sight of blooming flowers and children playing in the distance. "Look at those kids, Emma," her grandmother said, her voice filled with nostalgia. "They remind me of you when you were little, always running and laughing." Emma smiled, her heart swelling with love. "I remember those days, Grandma. You were always there cheering me on." Their conversation flowed effortlessly, weaving through memories of past summers spent in the sun and the adventures they had shared. With every step, Emma felt the weight of her grandmother's past lift slightly, replaced by the warmth of their connection. As they reached a bench, they sat down, watching as the world bustled around them. Emma took a deep breath, appreciating the beauty of the moment. She realized that despite the challenges they faced, there was so much to be thankful for. The love they had for each other was a constant, a beacon of light that guided them through the darkest times. In the following weeks, Emma noticed subtle shifts in her grandmother's demeanor. There were moments of clarity that felt like precious gifts, brief instances where her grandmother would recount memories with vivid detail. Emma would sit by her side, listening attentively, cherishing the stories that painted the canvas of their shared history. Each tale was a window into a life well lived, filled with joy and heartache, love and loss. One day, as they flipped through an old photo album, her grandmother paused at a picture of Emma's parents, taken long before Emma was born. The warmth in her grandmother's eyes faded slightly, replaced by a haunting sorrow. "I miss them every day," she whispered, her voice trembling. Emma felt her heart ache at the sight of her grandmother's sadness. "I know, Grandma. They would be so proud of you. You've shown me so much strength." Her grandmother looked at Emma, and in that moment, the depth of their connection became palpable. "You are their legacy, my dear. You carry their love within you." Emma nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "And I'll carry your love with me, always." As spring blossomed into summer, Emma continued to embrace her role as caregiver. She learned to adapt to the unpredictable nature of dementia, finding solace in the routines they established together. Each day brought its own challenges. As spring blossomed into summer, Emma continued to embrace her role as caregiver. She learned to adapt to the unpredictable nature of dementia, finding solace in the routines they established together. Each day brought its own challenges, yet there was a rhythm to their lives that provided a comforting structure. Mornings began with Emma preparing her grandmother's favorite breakfast, fluffy pancakes drizzled with maple syrup and fresh berries. The simple act of cooking became a ritual, a way for Emma to show her love and care. Once they finished breakfast, they would often sit on the porch, watching the world come to life. The garden, once a riot of colors, now buzzed with activity. Bees flitted from flower to flower, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming jasmine. Emma would read aloud from her grandmother's favorite novels, and in those moments, the barriers of memory faded, leaving behind the warmth of shared stories and laughter. One afternoon, inspired by the sunlight streaming through the trees, Emma suggested they take a picnic to the park. Her grandmother's eyes sparkled with delight at the thought. They packed a basket filled with sandwiches, fruit, and of course, a thermos of her grandmother's beloved iced tea. The drive to the park was filled with chatter about all the things they wanted to do. Feed the ducks, stroll through the flower gardens, and perhaps even take a nap under the shade of the old oak tree that stood sentinel over the park. When they arrived, the park was alive with laughter and play. Children ran freely, their joy infectious. Emma settled onto a blanket, spreading it out under the sprawling branches of the oak. As they enjoyed their picnic, her grandmother's laughter rang out, bright and clear, as she reminisced about her own childhood adventures. Emma listened intently, savoring each story, each detail that painted a picture of her grandmother's past. Suddenly, her grandmother paused, a look of confusion passing over her face. Emma's heart skipped a beat, but she gently took her grandmother's hand, squeezing it reassuringly. "What's wrong, Grandma? I don't remember if I told you about the time I climbed that very tree," her grandmother said, her voice shaky. Emma smiled, her heart lightening. "You did. You said you were the best climber in the neighborhood." A smile broke across her grandmother's face, and for a moment, the confusion lifted. "Oh, wasn't I? I think I even had a treehouse up there." Emma nodded enthusiastically, her heart swelling with love. "Yes, and you would invite all the kids over for tea parties up in the branches." Her grandmother's laughter bubbled up again, the sound like music in the summer air. Emma felt a rush of warmth, knowing that in that moment, they were together, fully present, basking in the joy of shared memories. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the park, they packed up their picnic and strolled hand in hand along the path. Emma reflected on how far they had come, the journey they had shared, and the bond that had only grown stronger through the trials of caregiving. Back at home, as they settled in for the evening, Emma's grandmother turned to her, a thoughtful expression crossing her face. "Emma, I want you to know how proud I am of you. You've given me so much love and joy in these days." Emma felt her heart swell with emotion. "I'm proud of you too, Grandma. You've taught me the meaning of resilience and love. I wouldn't trade this time for anything." As the days turned into weeks, Emma continued to cherish their time together, understanding that each moment was a precious gift. They filled their days with laughter, stories, and quiet moments of connection. Emma found strength in the routine of caring for her grandmother, discovering that even amidst the challenges, there was profound beauty in their relationship. Then, one evening, as they sat on the porch watching the fireflies dance in the twilight, Emma's grandmother turned to her, her eyes reflecting the fading light. "Emma, promise me something." "Anything, Grandma," Emma replied, her heart racing at the seriousness in her grandmother's tone. "Promise me that you will never forget the love we share, no matter what happens." Emma nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "I promise, Grandma. Your love is a part of me, and it always will be." In that moment, Emma felt the weight of her grandmother's words, the significance of their bond anchoring her in the present. She realized that while the future was uncertain, the love they shared would carry them through, a guiding light in the darkest of times. As summer faded into autumn, Emma noticed changes in her grandmother, moments of clarity growing fewer and further between. Yet even in the midst of confusion, there were glimmers of the vibrant woman who had raised her, moments when her grandmother would share a piece of wisdom or a story that resonated deeply. Emma treasured these moments as they became a reminder of the strength and resilience that had defined her grandmother's life. One afternoon, Emma found her grandmother sitting quietly in her favorite chair, looking out the window with a distant gaze. Emma knelt beside her, gently placing a hand on her knee. "What are you thinking about, Grandma?" Her grandmother turned to her, a soft smile gracing her lips. "Just thinking about how much I love you, Emma. You've brought so much joy into my life." The words hung in the air, a balm for Emma's soul. "And you've always been my greatest inspiration, Grandma. I love you more than words can say." In those moments, Emma realized that while her grandmother's mind might be slipping away, the essence of who she was, the love, the laughter, the stories, would always remain etched in Emma's heart. As the leaves began to fall, Emma prepared for what she knew would be a difficult winter. She reached out for support, connecting with local groups for caregivers, finding solace in sharing her experiences with others who understood the journey. Together, they navigated the complexities of dementia, sharing stories that resonated and brought comfort. One cold December evening, as snowflakes began to fall outside, Emma sat by the fireplace with her grandmother, wrapped in a soft blanket. They watched the flames flicker, the warmth enveloping them like a protective cocoon. Emma's heart ached at the thought of the journey ahead, yet she felt a sense of peace knowing that this time together was a treasure. As Christmas approached, Emma planned a celebration filled with love and joy. She invited family and friends to join them, hoping to create an atmosphere that would spark memories and laughter. The house was adorned with decorations, each ornament a reminder of the past, each light a symbol of hope. On Christmas Day, the house buzzed with warmth and laughter, the air filled with the scent of freshly baked cookies and the sound of joyous chatter. Emma watched as her grandmother interacted with family members, moments of recognition flickering in her eyes. It filled Emma's heart with hope, a reminder that even in the face of uncertainty, love could shine through. Later that evening, as the festivities began to wind down, Emma gathered everyone around for a special toast. She raised her glass, her voice steady but filled with emotion. To family, to love, and to the memories we create together. May we always cherish the moments that bind us. Cheers erupted around the room, and Emma's grandmother smiled, her eyes sparkling with warmth. In that moment, Emma felt a sense of fulfillment, a deep understanding that their journey, while fraught with challenges, was also filled with love and connection that could never be taken away. As winter gave way to spring once more, Emma continued to find strength in her grandmother's legacy, the lessons of resilience, and love guiding her through the difficult days. She learned to navigate the complexities of caregiving with grace, each day a testament to the bond they shared. One sunny afternoon, as they sat in the garden, surrounded by blooming flowers, Emma's grandmother looked at her with a mixture of clarity and confusion. "Emma, promise me you'll always remember the laughter and the love we shared." "Always, Grandma," Emma replied, her heart full. "You've given me the best memories, and they will always live in my heart." Their eyes met, a fleeting connection that spoke volumes, and Emma felt a rush of gratitude for the time they had spent together. No matter what the future held, the love they shared would forever remain a part of her, a guiding light illuminating her path. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the garden, Emma knew that their journey was a testament to the power of love, a love that transcended time, memory, and even the shadows of illness. In that moment, as the world around them burst into colors, Emma felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that their bond was unbreakable, a beautiful legacy that would continue to thrive in her heart long after the final chapter of their story had been written.